Welcome to this very special event, which is the 100th year celebration of the famous DH60 Moth. These celebrations sponsored by the Moth Club of Great Britain and hosted here at the aerodrome in Shuttleworth. And it's my pleasure today to meet with Stuart McKay, who's the secretary of the Moth Club, which are organising this event. So Stuart, pleasure to meet you.
And you.
The idea of celebrating an aircraft that's now 100 years old, where did that first come from?
Well, I suppose a few years ago we realised that there was a centenary coming. The club itself started in 1975, which was the 50th anniversary of the Moth. And so in the late 20s we realised that there was something significant happening and it really had to be recognised. So 2.5 years ago the planning started, and here we are. We had 111 aeroplanes booked in for the 2 days.
That's absolutely brilliant. And just from the UK?
No, we've got a contingent coming from Holland, we've got a Gypsy Moth coming from France, and we've got people, club members, coming and are here already from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the US, Europe, Scotland.
Wow, Scotland counts. So the de Havilland Moth started originally in Stag Lane with de Havilland in 1925. And very much a British organisation, although de Havillands themselves had organisations in Canada and Australia. The Moth Club itself, you're not just a UK organisation then, you're worldwide.
Indeed, but we started, the whole thing started in the early 70s when I bought a Tiger Moth in France, and there was no organisation in this country which looked after specifically de Havilland aeroplanes at that time. There was a Moth Club in Australia, there was a Moth Club in the USA even, and in New Zealand, but there wasn't one in this country. And so when I brought the aeroplane in from France, and I was very good at taking things apart, which is what I did, and it took 28 years to put it all back together again. But in the meantime, I recognised the fact that somebody had to look after these aeroplanes in the way of provision of technical services, spares, and then organise events perhaps. All sorts of people associated with aeroplanes, with Tiger Moths in particular, said, well, why can't we join? We don't own one, but we'd like to be involved.
Yeah.
And so the name was changed from Tiger Moth Owners Circle to de Havilland Moth Club.
Right.
And officially I wrote to Hatfield and said, can we use the name, because I thought that was a polite thing to do.
Yeah.
And the PR manager at the time, John Scott, who turned out to be an extremely good friend, wrote back a very polite letter and said no.
Right.
He said
bit of a pushback then.
well, he said the name is revered and we don't know who you are or what you want to do, so the answer is no. And I thought, well, the obvious name is de Havilland Moth Club, so what else are we going to call it apart from that?
Yeah.
So that's what we did. So this one started planning 2.5 years ago, hard work from that time on. But the appreciation of an event such as this was immediate.
Yes.
People said, yes, we're coming.
Yeah.
Just tell us when and where. And aeroplanes were being rebuilt in order to get here. Tomorrow, hopefully, if the weather is kind, we've got this incredible formation, which I'm not going to tell you about until we see it, but there's been a lot of hard work in the practice and the approvals from the authorities to do it, for one thing. That's been the hardest of the whole exercise, and that's getting through the red tape and the bureaucracy, to be honest.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it, so we won't do any spoiler alerts. Stuart, an absolute pleasure, and we're really looking forward to having a look at the various de Havilland aircraft that we're going to be seeing today and tomorrow, and some of the flying as well. So tune into the channel and we'll share with you what's going on for the famous DH600 100-year celebration of the famous DH60 Moth. Stuart, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.